So to start off, we're going to start off with a slip knot. So wrap the yarn around 2 fingers, grab your hook, insert it through this hole, and grab the yarn and pull it through, then tighten it. Then we're going to chain 2, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. Then we're going to start with the foundation half double crochets. So yarn over, go into the very first chain that we created, so into here, go into this chain, wrap the yarn around the hook and pull it through. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go into this first loop only, and then yarn over again, go into the rest of these 3 loops. So that is the first foundation half double crochet. Yarn over, go into this bottom section right here. Make sure when you go through both of these little loops at the bottom. Wrap the yarn around and pull it through. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go into the first loop only. You will have 3 loops on your hook once again. Yarn over, go into all 3. That is your second foundation half double crochet. For the third one, yarn over, go into this section from the previous stitch at the bottom. Make sure you go through both of these loops at the bottom. Wrap the yarn, bring it through. You'll have 3 loops once again. Yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over, go through the bottom section from the previous loop, go through both of the loops at the bottom, yarn over, bring the yarn through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook once again. Yarn over, go into this first loop only. You'll have 3 loops again. Yarn over, go through all 3 loops. One more time. So I think of this as little steps. So the first step would be to yarn over, go into this part, pull it through. So that would be step number 1. Step 2 would be the first loop here, yarn over, go into the first loop. You'll have 3 loops again. Last step, yarn over, go into all 3. And that's how I think about when I'm doing foundation half double crochet stitches. So yarn over, go to the bottom of the previous stitch and pull the yarn through. Yarn over one more time, go to the first loop only, yarn over again, go through all 3. And you're going to continue with these steps until you get the measurement that you need from the bottom of the breast to the center of the breast or to the nipple of the breast, whichever is applicable for you. Now that you have the length that you need to match your measurement, I recommend writing down the amount of stitches that you have. So now that we're done with the foundation half double crochet, we're going to do regular half double crochet for the rest of the project. So yarn over, go into the exact same stitch right here, go into here, pull through, and just immediately go into all 3 of the loops, and then yarn over, chain 1, and then we're going to be working basically on the same exact row except on the other side of it, at the bottom side, the same stitch that we just came from. So you can tell from looking here, it's right into this stitch. So into this stitch down here, we're going to put 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, go into the stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, yarn over, go into the exact same stitch as this one is in, so right in here, bring it through, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. And then we're going to put 1 half double crochet into each and every stitch for the rest of the row. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through all the way, yarn over, go into the next stitch right here, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through all the way, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull it through, yarn over, go through all 3 loops, yarn over, go into this next stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, go through all 3. You're going to repeat the same steps for the rest of the row until you go to the bottom. So into each and every stitch, you're going to put 1 half double crochet. Now that you're at the end of this row, you're going to chain 1, so yarn over and pull through, turn your work, and then into each and every stitch you're going to put 1 half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, pull the yarn through, yarn over, go through all 3, yarn over, go to the next stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, go through all 3, yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, go through all 3. You're going to continue with the half double crochets for the rest of the row until you get to the top right here.
So make sure that you're putting 1 half double crochet into each stitch.
Now that we're at the top, where the chain 1 was from the previous row, this little hole right here, we're going to put 2 half double crochets into this hole. So yarn over, go through the hole, bring the yarn through, you'll have 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. Again, yarn over, go through the hole, bring the yarn through, yarn over, go through all 3. Then we're going to chain 1, so yarn over and pull through. We're going to put another 2 half double crochets into the same hole. So yarn over, go through the hole, bring it through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through the hole, yarn over, and pull through. And then we're going to go back to 1 half double crochet into every single stitch for the rest of the row. Put yarn over, go into the very first stitch closest to the hole, and do your half double crochet.
Then to the next stitch, you do another half double crochet. And you just continue with half double crochets for the rest of the row.
At the end of the row, yarn over and pull through as your chain 1 and turn your work. And then continue with the exact same steps with your half double crochet, 1 half double crochet into each stitch until you reach the top.
So yarn over, go into the first stitch, bring it through, yarn over, go through all 3, and just continue with your half double crochets.
Now that we're at the top, we're going to do another 2 half double crochets into the hole right here. So yarn over, go into the hole, bring the yarn through, yarn over, go through all 3. Yarn over, bring the yarn through, pull through, yarn over, go through all 3. Then chain 1, so yarn over and pull through. and then do 2 more half double crochets into the same hole. So yarn over, bring it through the hole, yarn over, go through all 3 loops, yarn over, bring it through the hole, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Then again, you're going to do 1 half double crochet per stitch that you have for the rest of the row. So yarn over, go into the very first stitch here, and do your half double crochets, and make sure you are not skipping any stitches, and make sure you are not accidentally putting more than 1 into the same stitch. So at the end of the row, yarn over and chain 1 and turn your work, and you're going to continue with the exact same steps until you reach the measurement that you need, which will be the circumference of the breast. So measure from the most outer portion of the breast into the cleavage, and that is how you will know when to stop. I like to have mine to be stretched out to the measurement that I need. If you want to continue until it is the exact measurement, that's completely fine, but what I like to do is hold on the cup and stretch it out and make sure that it's to the measurement that I need it to be. Just a little note, when you go off to do your second cup, just remember that each of the holes here represents how many rows that you've done. So now that we're done with the entire cup, we're going to go ahead and work on this portion. So chain 1 and turn your work upside down. So however many holes you have, multiply it by 2, and that is how many stitches you will put across this portion. So we're going to put 1 single crochet into each row that you see. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet into this row, and then into the next row right next to it, as you can see, put 1 more single crochet here, another single crochet here, another single crochet here, and so forth. So I have chained 1. I'm going to go straight into the stitch, into the row, bring the yarn through. You're going to have 2 loops, yarn over, go through both of them, and then doing the same thing into the next row. So I've done this one, I'm going to go straight into this one. So go through it, bring the yarn through, you'll have 2 loops, yarn over, go through both of them. Then into this next one, another single crochet. So I have 2 loops, yarn over, go through both of them. Then into this next row, another single crochet. And you're just going to ensure that for each row you have, you're putting 1 single crochet into it. Just want to point out, make sure that you do not go into these holes in between the rows. Make sure you go into the actual rows where the stitches are, not into these holes. When we're done with the single crochets, you're going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Turn your work, and we're going to skip the first stitch. This will count as a stitch for this part. Skip this one because technically we're already in there. We're going to skip this one, and then we're going to put a half double crochet straight into here, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3, and we do that so we can have this little cap here. Yarn over, chain 1, skip this stitch, go into this stitch, the second stitch from this one, the current one, yarn over, do your half double crochet, and chain 1, skip this stitch, go into the very next stitch from that one with your half double crochet, chain 1, skip this stitch, go into the next stitch from that one with a half double crochet, chain 1, skip a half double crochet into the one next to that, chain 1, skip, and then even with this last part here, we're going to chain 1 and just go straight into this stitch. It's okay if for the last one, the last part, you don't have a section to skip. Then for this part, we're going to chain 2. So 1, 2, turn your work. This counts as a double crochet. So chain 1, and then do a double crochet into this gap here. So yarn over, go into the gap, bring the yarn through. You'll have 3 loops. Yarn over, go into the first 2 loops only. You'll have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over, go through both of the remaining 2 loops. Then chain 1 into this next gap here. We're going to do another double crochet. So yarn over, go through the gap, bring the yarn through. You'll have 3 loops. Yarn over, go to the first 2 loops only. You'll have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over, go through both of them. Chain 1, yarn over, go into this gap. You have 3 loops. Yarn over, go to the first 2 loops only. Yarn over, go to the remaining 2 loops. Chain 1, do a double crochet into here. You have 3 loops. Go to the first 2, then the last 2, then just continue for the rest of the row the exact same steps. So now that I'm done with this part, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then I'm going to put a single crochet into this hole right here from the double crochet. Bring the yarn through. You'll have 2 loops. Yarn over, go through both of them. Then I'm going to do a single crochet into this gap. So go through the gap, bring the yarn through, yarn over, go through both the loops. Then I'm going to go into the double crochet next to it with the single crochet, and then a single crochet into the gap, then a single crochet into the double crochet, then a single crochet into this gap, and a single crochet into the double crochet, single crochet into the gap, single crochet into the double crochet, and just continue until you get to the end. So now that I'm done, just going to grab my scissors and cut off the yarn, and then yarn over, pull through all the way, and tighten it. This is the cup. Just go ahead and do the exact same steps for your second cup. Now that we have both cups, we're going to go ahead and start making the little tassels for the bottom. Go ahead and grab any flat object that you may have. Just make sure that whatever side it is you're using, it is going to be the length that you want the fringes to be, the tassels to be. So I want my tassels to be about this long, so I'm going to be using this part. Just go ahead and start wrapping the yarn around the object that you're using. Go ahead and start. And cut off the yarn from the bottom. Cut off a piece of yarn. And grab your sewing needle and thread it. And then go through the top, go underneath all of the string. And then tie it several times to secure it. and then slide off the yarn. Grab your scissors and put it directly down the middle. Make sure it's even and cut. Grab another piece of string, cut it, place it down, put this on top. Make sure you have the string where you want it to be. Start tying it. And then before you continue tying it, just pull the yarn down to make sure it's even. So tie it even more to make sure that's very secure. And grab the two pieces together, just wrap it around a few times. I wrap it around my finger. My hook, put it through the hole where my finger was and bring the yarn through. Then tighten it one more time. And then you thread the yarn. So grab your needle and start threading the yarn. And then bring it through and under here. And then you can tie it just to secure it. And then push it to the center. And then start cutting off the excess. So while you're making these, just arrange them to how you would like on the cup, so that way you can see how many you'd like. At first I wanted to have 3, but then I realized I didn't like it that way, so I made sure that each of them would have 4. And the reason why you want to do this is because you don't want to accidentally make too much and then have wasted yarn. So while you do this, just make sure you are checking to see how you would like it arranged and to see how many you would like. So that way you know the total that you should make. Before we attach them onto the bikini cup, make sure to arrange them in the way that you would like. Make sure you count the stitches just to ensure you know where exactly you want to put it. So mine is about every 4th stitch is where I'm going to place the tassel. So I'm going to start. Thread your needle. Once it's threaded, just start inserting it where you would like it placed. And go through around it. And then I like to leave this little hole here so we can go through it with the needle so I can secure it and tighten it. You can go around as many times as you want. I'm going to tie it now at least twice. And then I'm just going to continue adding the other ones, and then after they're all added, that is when I'm going to weave all of the ends through here so that way it's secure. Do not cut them off because weaving it in ensures that it's more secure. So now that I'm all done attaching them, I'm going to weave them through. So I'm going to thread my needle, and I'm going to go through the single crochets here at the bottom, put the needle through multiple single crochets, and pull through all the way. Then I'm going to weave back, but before I do, I'm going to weave up, so that way I don't undo what I've just done. So I'm going to go up until this double crochet, not all the way, just a little bit. Then pull, so that way this little part is not raised, and I'm going to go back this way. And then pull on it lightly, so that way it's flat but doesn't scrunch it up. And then grab your scissors and cut the excess off. And you're just going to repeat the same process for all of these strings. And once you're all done with that, go ahead and do the exact same thing to the other cup. And when you're done with both cups, we're gonna go ahead and do the strap for the bust area. So you're going to want to get the yarn that's from the inside of the bowl, the yarn bowl, as well as the string that's on the outside. So you're going to bring both ends together and create a slip knot. So wrap the two ends around your fingers, grab your hook and bring it through, grab the yarn, pull it through and tighten it. And then you're just going to create chains. So yarn over, bring it through, yarn over, bring it through, yarn over, bring it through, yarn over, bring it through. Just continue doing that until you get the measurement that you need. You're going to use your bust measurement and multiply that by 1.35, and then whatever value you get from that will be how long you make these chains to. And when you're done, just grab your scissors, cut off, yarn over and pull through all the way and tighten it. Then you're going to tie these ends. Grab your scissors and cut it. Do the same for this side. Go ahead and just put this to the side, and then we're going to start the straps for the cups. If you're someone that needs more support for your breast, I suggest crocheting a strap that has at least 3 half double crochets in width, and then just go up from there. So again, take both ends of the yarn, connect it to the hole at the top, so put the hook through the hole, grab both of the yarns and pull through, then grab the yarn, yarn it over and pull it through, then tighten this end. You can either tie this end now or at the end. When you're done with it, I'm just going to let it go as it is now. And then you're just going to do chain, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through,
yarn over, pull through, and just continue.
You can crochet this until the measurement from the top of your breast to the back of your neck, but I would make sure you are counting how many stitches you do, so that way you can do the same amount of stitches for the next cup. And then when I'm done, I'm just gonna cut off this part, yarn over, pull through all the way, tighten it, and then I'm going to tie it. And then cut off the excess. Then I'm gonna go back down here, tie this part, and then I'm going to weave in the ends. Thread your needle, go through the half double crochets. And go ahead and do the exact same thing to this cup. Now that both straps are added, we're going to go ahead and put this through and put it through the first hole right here, and grab the strap and pull it through, and it's gonna go like under, over, under, over, under, over. So it's gonna go over this part, so then it's gonna go under this one here, so put it through that one and go through. So I grabbed a bigger hook to make this easier. Then again, it's gonna go over this part and under here. So again, I'm gonna go under this one here, grab and pull. And then it's gonna go over this one right here, under here. So I'm going to grab and pull. So just make sure that you're weaving through these areas. So like go up, down, up, down, up, down, like a wave into each of these, so that way you can easily pull and adjust the cups to however you would like.
So again, make sure. Okay, so again, just go ahead and go into this one, and pull it through, and I'm going to go up and over this one, and down and under this one. And just continue.
Now that you're done weaving it through, just go ahead and make sure that the ends on each side are even. So I'm going to fold it in half and keep pulling
until both sides have equal length.
This is the finished product. I hope you found this video helpful and easy to follow along. Follow me on my socials, Instagram mil.rosas.crochet and Twitter milrosascrochet. Thank you.